What's up, Digidestins? Did you hear that bell? That means it's another beautiful day in the Market Watch. So without further ado, let's get into the video, talk about the Event Pack 4 cards. We're going to talk about all the Beelzemon stuff because Beelzemon's advanced deck has dropped, and then talk about a few other cards that are going up for BT12. So without further ado, let's talk about it and get into the video. So let's get into this Market Watch. First off, we're going to talk about Blue Card Digital Hazard EX02. Anything that are related to the plugins and any of the hazard cards that are these really bad reprints that are only really good for Sakuyamon is not worth your time. I think you guys have better money spending somewhere else. So expect these to be dirt cheap. The rest, there's really only going to be a few chase cards in that set, and to be honest with you, that's what's going to hurt the most, is that only a few are going to be worth anything. Because again, it looks like the same card. It didn't really change anything. They could have made Blue Card an alternate art. That would have been really nice. I don't even think many of the cards have an alternate art from that set. But with Blue Card, it's dipping down. As we can see, it doesn't matter. It wasn't even played. I figured it would be interesting to talk about Blue Card like that anyway. So let's talk about Blue Card in EX02 for the Europe market, though. It went up to 30 cents in the Euro market. But there's still plenty of listings no matter what. But it skyrocketed for a day, apparently. It should dip right back down. I don't understand why that it jumped up like that. Metal Greymon Secret Rare from Release Special Booster. So it's $10 right now for a light play. Near mint foil, we're looking at a few dollars here and there, but they are low sellers. This is the only one on the cheap end, and then we're back into the $20 range. There are low quantity stocks for this. This is a Machinedramon tech, and with Machinedramon getting more and more beautiful support, I wouldn't be surprised if this is not worth your time and value. So guys, I recommend possibly thinking about picking it up. I mean, the alternate art is a really good chase card version too, but there's only 9 listing of this card. So be on the lookout and put this on your radar. Then on the Europe side, though, we're looking like 12 euros to 15. So they have more quantity to that $20 range-esque. And then they get really ridiculous about here. So I wouldn't go too crazy on the Europe market. If you guys want to play Machinedramon, this is your best bet. Then let's talk about Agumon from BTO2. Alternate art from the starter deck. To be honest with you, since the release of Beelzemon has happened this weekend, so this card will value differently here. We're looking like $4, you know. Just nothing too crazy out of the ordinary there. Then on the Europe side, we're looking like €1.20, €1 up to about €2. Something like this, I do not recommend buying the starter deck for. Just buy the singles if you are only after this alternate art. It is going to be a heck of a lot cheaper, and it won't break the bank. Then you have Impmon starter deck Beelzemon Advance. Going up, boys and girls. This thing is climbing up. People have been buying it. Even on today, we're looking like quite a few sales in the $4 to close to $5 range. This card is going to be a massive staple for the Beelzemon deck in the near future. So stuff like this is really important to take a look at and understand. I think this has really good value going forwards, but looking like $4, $5, not terrible. I don't see this card coming down. It's going to be like the other cards in the format that starter decks do have, like a $5 card in it somewhere, somehow. And then once the deck kind of phases out, then it dips. But for now, this card is really important because of the fact of when Digivolving, if you have 20 more cards in your trash, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Beelzemon from your trash for Digievolution cost 3, ignoring its Digievolution requirements. A little more easier requirement than the Galimon and the Vmon alternatives. Those guys, you couldn't, it wasn't a when tacking skill, it was your turn skill, and your opponent had to be at a level 6 for you to activate it. So that was like a big problem, and now this changes it up and a little bit better. But your turns when a card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. Not a bad trade-off. Impmon in the Euro side, looking like €3 to basically €4. Most of the copies are in the €3 range, which isn't terrible. Beelzemon starter deck 14, Beelzemon Advanced starter deck set, starter deck 14. Holy cow, say that 5 times fast. Ain't gonna happen. So looking at it right now, there were a few listings looking in the $1.50 range, which isn't terrible, but most of the people are buying in the $3 range very comfortably for now. And that is just because this card is a 2 to 3 of for now. And if you guys weren't really wanting to invest too much into the starter deck, this is not a bad pickup that way. There's only a few select cards you really want to pick up. Then we have the starter deck. You know, on the Europe side, we're looking like €3 to €4. Not terrible. Caps off at almost €5.27. Not terrible. We're got 5 copies there. Most of it looks like it's in the €4 range. In that range, so you kind of got a decent headway here. It's a little pricey, but it should come down eventually. Then we have Greymon X Antibody. The hype for this card is ridiculous. Shine is still destined to be one of the best decks in the format. This card did have a low for a little bit back in the earlier bit of March. Now it's just skyrocketing crazily. There's only a few copies left on market before this thing disappears and becomes a $50 card again. And people aren't really buying in that range. They're kind of capping out at $20. Kind of expected. Easiest sales look like it's going to be in the $16, $17 range is kind of your easier sell. So if you have copies and you're looking to make some profit, probably put it close to 19 is your max cap. I wouldn't go higher than that, but that's just me. Just letting you know. On the Europe side, though, going up, looking like they're on a low stock end too. They cap out at €15, which is better than us right now. But they have plenty of copies now. If you guys have any intentions on playing Shiny Boy in the future, this card is going to be useful, in my opinion. Then you have Yuji. This card is getting that full art, alternate art, coming in the event packs. So it's hovering around, you know, $6 very comfortably. I wouldn't invest into this. Expect this to start flooding once everybody's, after a month of event pack 4s come through. This will change up. On the Europe side, we're looking like it's climbing up a little bit. We're at a €1.50 as the lowest, but majority of it looks like it's in the €4 range. And then it kind of just gets a little out of hand going up from there. But this card is getting the event pack 4 treatment, and it's great to see Tamers get it. But hey, we'll have to see what else to do. Alderman from Next Adventure pre-release cards. This card is steadily climbing up. This is a pre-release stamp, meaning it's classified the max rarity. For a lot of players, that is important, especially if it's the only foiled version you get. Alderman is not getting another version for itself for right now. We'll have to see if they make an alternate art in the future or anything like that. It would be really nice. But for now, it is the highest rarity at foiled, and we're looking like pretty expensive. Low stock, 7 listings. Kind of $30 is kind of where you're looking for. But if you take a look at it, though, on the sales, we're looking at $20 in that range. Kind of comfortably people buy at the $20 range. They are not buying crazily. I mean, that's crazy right there, but we'll have to see. Then we have Alderman on the Europe side for the pre-release stamp. On buyout, basically. Only 4 listings left. It is going down, but I wouldn't be surprised if this gets all bought out and then you never see it again on the Europe side. Galimon, this card has a little bit of hype behind it. There has been a few tops, supposedly, what I noticed from Mario's live streams when he was doing his tournaments. The Mirage Gaugamon did well, but we also know that Mirage Gaugamon is getting the wave of support in BT13. And if they hit Shine Greymon on release, this might be your backup deck that you want to pick up. I think this has a lot of potential. I really don't feel comfortable with any big meta decks, because Shine Greymon will probably dominate for 3 sets, and then when we get it here, we'll get a week of it, and then they'll just kill it. So just knowing the trends and seeing it now, how Bandai is operating, I wouldn't invest into Shine Greymon too heavily. It's just one of those things. If you are trying to be a gambling man, go for it. But outside of that, I wouldn't invest. So $20 kind of across the board here. Not terrible. Galimon on the Europe side, plenty of copies to go around. It goes from €1 to about €4. Most of the copies are in the €2.50 range, which isn't terrible. I think that's pretty solid. Then we have Beelzemon Dimensional Phase pre-release card. Climbing up as well. This is because All Force is a deck to be reckoned with, especially in Ulti Cups. And we have at least a couple more Ulti Cups to go through in April. So we'll have to see where that goes. But at the moment, we're looking like €10 to $10 to about $13. Then it caps at, almost $30. But hey, people are buying comfortably more in the $10 range to $15 range. So if you have copies and you want to move them, that'll probably be the most comfortable where people would buy into. Anything else would be probably too expensive. Looking on the Europe side, though, you guys are looking pretty clean. You cap out at €4. Your lowest is about €2. I mean, you do have this, but I think that's not terrible. That's pretty good. You guys have a low quantity stock, though. Then we have Flamedramon from Double Diamond pre-release. This card has plateaued, but that's also because nobody's buying these $30 prices. They really don't want it. It is kind of expensive, and I don't blame them. People have bought in the $20 range a little more comfortably, but outside of the people that are going to be playing Red Hybrid, not a lot of people want this card. So that's something to think about there. On the Europe side, it's going up as well. They're at the €5 range, the €15 range. That's not terrible. Is there any comments? No comments. There are potentials here, but at a €5 range, that's not terrible. Then we have Sora Mimi, one of the more popular purple cards because of the purple cup itself. Going up, we're looking at near mints at almost $6. That's not terrible. That's pretty decent. But then after that $6 bridge gap, it goes right to doubling your money. So that's kind of expected. There are people buying it in the $5 range very comfortably. But outside of that, the card's good. Don't get me wrong. Anybody playing purple might enjoy this. But hey, that's on you. Then on the Europe side, we're looking like €1 to about €6 range. That's kind of fair assessment. Most of the copies are in the €1.50 range. Not terrible. If you guys want it, that would be perfect for your Beelzestar or Beelstar, or your, any purple deck that you really need an extra 2 copy things. Then we have Galimon Crimson Mode spiking up alternate art, boys and girls. This card is at a $45 range, kind of. We have a few copies in the $41, but let's take a look. Most people are buying comfortably in the $41 right now. This is just because new Galimon support. We'll have to see if it actually matters once we get into BT12, if Galimon can keep pace. I know War Greymon really set them back a little bit, but Galimon might be able to handle itself here. Galimon Crimson Mode is kind of just laying flat. We're looking like same price range as us, but they only have a fewer stock quantity compared to us. They're at €40, and then they instantly pop into €45 to €48 range quite quickly. So that's just on you if you want to pick up this alternate art. Then we have Agumon from Dragonic Roar. This is dipping down. We want to see this dip down. Come down more. Bring it down more. Come down to a $20 card so I can get my 3 copies at $60. I'd rather pay that. But right now, it's kind of expensive. Kind of. But it's Agumon. If you're comfortable enough with the deck, go for it. But outside of that, it's dipping down. Then on the Europe side, we're looking like €27 to that €80 range. Most of the copies are in the €35 range. I'd rather see them come down to €20 more comfortably, but we'll have to see if that happens. Then we have Wizardmon promo. This card got flooded with near mint foils. Most people are listing their near mint foils from the starter deck at cheaper prices here. Expect these are going to be listed in here because that's where it would have sold more comfortably because of the pre-release. And there's no difference between the two cards in the foiling. They're the exact same. So something like that is just to keep in your mind here. But outside of that, dipping down. Then on the Europe side, dipping down as well. Probably a flood is happening here. We're looking like 10 euros to the lowest of 3 euros. Kind of that's where it is at. Most of the money is in the 4 euro range, so that's something to think about. Then we have Mirage Gaugamon for alternate art from Dimensional Phase going up. This has some hype behind it. Again, BT13. Then you have the stuff here that's been topping a little bit in Mario's events. Stuff like that does add up and add in information, especially since it topped both events back to back. So stuff like that is good information to take into account that maybe somebody found the sauce. But that's just something to look at here. I mean, hey, that's just how this is going. And then on the Europe side, dirt cheap, under, that $10 range. Very much. Plenty of stock here. Goes crazy. If you guys think you can buy this out, good luck. Agumon X Antibody, kind of plateauing here. I kind of expect this to dip down if the Agumon deck doesn't do too hot in BT, 12. If it doesn't do too hot, expect this to come down. And I would be kind of happy if we get back to a reasonable level of $25. These prices are astronomically too expensive. Even on pre-release weekend back in July, it was only like a $23 card, and it has not come down or recovered since. And that's just how that's going to be. On the Europe side, dipping down, we're looking like 30 euros to 60 euros. It's not terrible. Then we have Cool Boy from X Record pre-release. Going down a little bit. Expect this card to dip down probably once we start seeing more and more Cool Boys from Event Pack 4 fluctuate the market. And that'll just because this card is no longer the max rarity, because once an event pack hits, usually knocks down the pre-release quite exponentially. On the Europe side, they're looking like 10 euros to 15 euros. Not terrible. And that's about it, boys and girls. We covered all the cards today, and I think that's a good lineup. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace!